Welcome. This video will demonstrate the capabilities of the Formtek Peer Association Extension for Alfresco. The Formtek Peer Association Extension provides support for various releases of Alfresco 4 and Alfresco 5. Consult the Formtek website for more detailed information about the versions of Alfresco that we support. Before we go much farther, let's discuss what a peer association is. Anyone who has ever used old-fashioned file cabinets or folders and file systems in an operating system knows what a parent-child relationship is. The manila folder in your file cabinet holds child documents the same way that an electronic folder in a file system or a folder in a content management system does. But what if you have documents that are related to each other? How do you express that relationship? In the paper world, you could paperclip the two documents together, but what if one of those documents also needs to be associated with the third document? What if you're dealing with a standard document that contributes to dozens of other documents? Even in modern content management systems, this relationship can't be easily defined with out-of-the-box functionality. What you need is the ability to create a peer association, which is an association between two different documents. You're already using a content management system to keep track of completed documents that you deliver to your customers. But where do you keep your source materials? And how do you let people know where they are? If a coworker had to take over your project, would they know what documents contributed to the final deliverable? Or, if you had to come back to a project yourself a year from now, will you remember? With the Formtek Peer Association Extension for Alfresco, you can create visible connections between your final deliverable documents and all of the sources that helped you get there. The word bibliography may bring back bad memories of research papers in high school or college, but keeping track of research materials and reference documents is an important part of creating high-quality professional work. Let's go over the key features of the Formtek Peer Association Extension. The Manage Associations command is available as an action from the Document List and Document Details pages in the Document Library and the repository. The Manage Associations interface allows you to create and delete associations for any type of document, not just the standard Alfresco content type. When you open a document's Document Details page, the document's associations are displayed together under the Associations heading. Associations are one way. For example, a deliverable document can have an association to a meeting minutes document, but if you look at the meeting minutes document, it has no associations of its own. A document that has associations is identified by a paperclip icon to the left of the document. Now, let's take a look at the Peer Association extension. I'm logged into Alfresco as my demo user, Frank Smith. Now let's get into the FT Engineer site and then into the document library. I've been working on a statement of work document for a traffic analysis project, and I used a number of supporting documents as sources for this effort. I want to make sure that we have a record of what documents were used to create this deliverable. I'm going to use the Formtek Peer Association extension to demonstrate the connection between my deliverable document and the resource materials. Let's get into the Projects folder and into the Berry Traffic Analysis folder. Here's the statement of work document that I've been working on. To add associations to this document, we can go to the More command and then to the Manage Associations action. Now the Manage Associations action takes me to a new interface which allows me to manage the associations that have been assigned to this document. So as you can see from the text here, it says that no items are selected, so there are no associations created for this document yet. So to add associations, we click the Select Association button, and that brings up a pop-up interface which allows us to select the documents that we'd like to associate. And as you can see, we have the option of choosing from different sites in the system. So let's go into the FT Engineer site, and we can go into the document library. And I'm looking for some documents in my Design Resources area. Now the Design Resources area is just a location that I've put together which holds a lot of standard documents that can be referred to for other projects that we're working on. So this is a civil engineering project, so we'll go into the civil engineering folder. And I've got two documents in here. A document that describes permitting processes for Allegheny County and a document that describes highway design for the state of Pennsylvania. So for this particular document, I referred to the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation document. So I'd like to add that to my list. and I can click OK. Now when I click OK, it takes me back to the Manage Associations window where you can see that it's added the PennDOT Highway Design Manual as a document. So let's just go ahead and hit Save, and let's go take a look at what this looks like on the Statement of Work document. So you can see now that my Statement of Work document has had a new icon added to it, and the icon is in the shape of a paperclip, and when I hover over the paperclip, it tells me that the document has associations. So there are a couple more documents that I would like to add as associations, so let's go back to the Manage Associations window. So the other documents that I would like to add are meeting minutes that took place when we met with the customer to gather their requirements. So let's navigate to that folder so we can select those files. So we go into the FT Engineer site, into the document library, projects, Berry traffic analysis, and meeting minutes. So let's go ahead and add all of these documents and click OK. And now you can see that it's added the 4 additional documents to my associations. And I just realized that some of these documents are actually not related to the project that I'm working on. The documents from 2012 are a little bit older and they weren't related. So we can remove those documents using the Remove button off on the right. And now you can see we're down to just our collection of 3 documents. We've got the PennDOT manual, the meetings minutes from 8/25, and the meeting minutes from 9/2. So let's hit Save to save those associations to the document. And let's go back and look at the document itself. Now if I click on the Statement of Work document itself to get to the Document Details window, you can see that I've got the preview of the Statement of Work. And if I scroll a little bit further down the list, we've got a new section that's been added to this page, and that's Associations. Now the Associations area just contains links that we can use to get to the original documents. So if I click on the PennDOT Highway Design Manual document, it will take me to the preview page for that specific document. If we go back into the Document Details window, we can look at the other associations that are there. So if I click on the meeting minutes, it'll take me to the preview page for the meeting minutes document. So let's go back to the Berry project folder. So at this point, my deliverable document has all of the pertinent resource materials associated with it. If I need to come back to this project several years from now, or if a coworker has to take over this project for me, there will be no confusion about what documents were used to create this deliverable. And that concludes the demo portion of this video. The Formtek Peer Association Extension runs on various versions of Alfresco 4 and Alfresco 5 on both Windows and Linux servers. Refer to the Formtek website for specific details about what operating systems and versions of Alfresco we support. The Formtek Peer Association Extension also installs and uninstalls with easy-to-run command line scripts. This last slide displays a list of areas where you can find more information about the Formtek Peer Association Extension and other Formtek Alfresco extensions. Thank you for watching.